Hello Ezra, I figure you've been waiting long enough, so instead of setting up another meeting, back and forth emails, why don't I just make you a quick video and get straight to the point. Now, I've read through all of your emails, I've considered all our previous meetings, I hear you. Okay, I do hear you, I understand exactly where you're coming from. You and 7 other people have invested a lot of money, time, and resources. You have plenty of qualified startups lined up for the roadshow as far as I can see. And of course, it would be utterly absurd if you were to suddenly cut somebody else in after doing all this work, all this investment, and gotten to the point that you've currently gotten at. Now, as I mentioned before, I do apologize for ICICA being unprepared. He's cut a few deals quite well, so I just sort of said when he asked, okay, go ahead. But no, he was way out of line. He was way unprepared. And I can assure you that I am prepared today, and I do hope that we can remain long-term lovers. As I can assure you, Ezra, this will not just be another pure marketing offer, but a plan of how we can help each other, okay? You and your team have many things in motion, but you want to make matchmaking your main priority, if I understood your big email correctly. Now, I would like to use my experience and skill set to provide you a far better outcome than any of these other marketers can. How am I going to do this? Well, you mentioned your desire to get a lot of startups to sign up for your platform in a short period of time. Now, as I recall, your target was 500 registrations in 6 months. Okay? With regards to budget, you mentioned the minimum to reach the goal. So today I'm just going to present to you a marketing plan. Minimum to me means 0, so I'm giving you a marketing plan today with 0 cost. 0 cost, okay, for everything I'm about to show you. See one of the other marketers beat that. Now, I'll present the paid options in there as well that can supplement the marketing plan if you really want to go down that road, but I don't think you need it to achieve the task of what you've just set out. For the record, minimum budget required to achieve your goal, 500 registered startups in 6 months, to me is 0. Now, let's take a little look at the board here. I've based this off a marketing principle called AIDA, which stands for attention, interest, decision, action. This is where do people get the attention, how do they become interested, how do they make their decision, and action. What's the action? Where are they gonna make their action? I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. I typically use a different model, but I'd be almost sure you and your team have heard of this because it's the international standard, so let's stick with that. So attention, how are we going to get people's attention? Well, we're going to start off on Facebook because it's probably one of the best ways to do it. We can do marketing groups, not marketing, just Facebook groups, posts, communities, reaching out to people. I'm part of about 30, 40 odd groups within Israel alone, different startup communities, everything right up to startup jobs. My wife manages all of this for me because most of them are in Hebrew. She knows them all. So anytime I launch an event, she promotes it in all of these groups. We usually make a video, a little button, call to action, and typically that will either go to a Facebook event in-house or it will go to a meetup, meetup.com. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure you've used it. This is my primary go-to. This is where I get most of my people. Now, officially, it costs money, okay? It costs a whole $60 every 6 months. If this is a problem for you, I have spare accounts. I can comp you on it. Just don't call me on, Keith, you said it was a 0 budget, and then there was an expense. Come on, 60 isn't really an expense. It's just a little petty cash. Same thing with Eventbrite. The Eventbrite, it's free to use. So you can launch all your events in all these different places. Now with Facebook, you can make some Facebook ads. It's basically the same thing as a post, and then you just promote it with a bit of money and it puts it in front of people, in front of their profiles, instead of them having to see it in a group. So it can be more effective. I don't think you need it, but hey, this is your call. If you want to put it in, it's the same thing. Just add it on in. Now, All of these things here are going to drive people to register for your event, assuming this. When they register for your events, then they're going to have the option to register for your platform. This is your first call to action. If they don't register, they're going to go to the events. At the events, you're going to stop them at the door with your computer. Hi, can you please register for our platform in order to get in? Or when they're in the event, hi, would you like to register? Give that call to action. You must register. So one way or another, you're going to catch them here. And then, of course, the next call to action that you've got them is registering them up for the road show. Now, you can do the road show straight when they've registered, or you can do the road show at the event. You can do the road show from emails, sending them all out emails. You can do more promotions because you're going to know who these guys are now. You can ring them up. The point is, once you have the list of people, putting this in front of them is it's nothing. You can have automated emails if you want to use ActiveCampaign, MailChimp, one of them. They're not expensive, or you can just do it manually. So there's your free option and your $20, $30 a month option. $20, $30, not a lot of money. That's what, less than 100 shek per month for the automation. Either way, you're going to keep track of all of these. Now, you may want a CRM or an events management system. This is a separate thing that we can talk about, or just do it manually. That's your call. Now, let's look at this side of the board for a moment. So we have workspaces, incubators, accelerators. Now, when I started doing events, one of my goals wasn't just to pull people into Co-Founder Club. It's that I wanted everyone in the community, the Israeli community startup, to know who I am. To know the name Keith, to know the name Co-Founder Club. It's my credibility and it's my network. This was the primary. So what did I do here? I did this exercise about 2 years ago for about 6 months. I phoned every single workspace, incubator, accelerator. I sent follow-up emails. I got to know these guys, and anytime I want, some of them have asked me to post in my event, I post in their events. They've told people about what I do. It's a long exercise, but it's a combination of phone calls and emails, but going down these ways will pull people in if you have a good offer. Remember, me, I'm all about the offer. So, I call up an incubator. Hi, I see that you have loads of attendees. I'm bringing 5 attendees next month over to China to meet with 20 different people. Would you like any of your projects to sign up for this? Would that work for you? Remember, these guys have equity in the companies, so it's actually quite a good offer for them. Events. Okay, go to events. Pick an event every single day on meetup.com, Eventbrite, Facebook, and just go to it. And when you're there, walk up to people, shake their hand. Hello, how are you? What do you do? Oh, I bring Israeli startups over to China. Yeah, there's about 20 million every single time we go up for grabs for the right startups. Or you're sitting in the room, the speaker is speaking about whatever nonsense. And then you get up at the end when he's asking Q&A. Hi, Mr. Speaker. It's very interesting what you said about startups and for example, international growth options. I actually help Israeli startups with a roadshow going over to China, meeting with 20, 30 entrepreneurs, usually about 20 million or so per event. And I was wondering, with what you were saying, would, and then ask some random question, because you've just told everybody what you do. If you're a really, really bad salesperson, really, that will probably get everything you need. The Israeli government, call the government, okay? Call them up again. Offer, 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 offer. Everything that you do here is all going to come down to the offer, okay? The Israeli government, they want something back and forth to China. What is it? I haven't made the phone calls yet. I don't know. You give me one day and I'll find out what it is. Hi, Mr. Government Municipality. I understand that in your charter, it states that you're really looking to promote Israeli exports. I actually work in this field. I am exporting Israeli technologies to investors overseas. And I was wondering if you would perhaps let your people, let your audience know about what I'm doing. Would that work for you? If that's really in their charter, that's going to work for them. So these are options. They require an offer. That offer needs to be thought out. The only reason why I'm calling it an offer instead of telling you what my offer is because every time I mention an offer to you guys, the 2 times we've met, your eyes were like, whoa, Keith, settle, calm. I'm a little aggressive. The offer has to convey the reality of what you want, not what I want. So the offer actually has to come from you. I can help you craft it and make it more attractive. The hook to attract them in, and the offer can be a bit softer. Again, the goal here is to pull them into the events, to get registered for your platform, and ultimately get them over to the roadshow if they qualify. The key with the roadshow is they have to qualify. They got to jump through these hoops in order to get there. Now, all of this is you doing yourself, zero cost, me helping, sure, but it's just yourselves. Now, Co-Founder Club, what can Co-Founder Club do? I have 4,000 members, okay? Co-Founder Club can just throw people into your events, promote the events, or it can just promote the roadshow directly. And you can swap this out with any other group. If you want to do business with another association, same thing. You know, what can we do, guys? Here's the deal. You're promoting to the events and you're promoting to the roadshow. How many people have you got? So that is the marketing plan, and I believe I would have emailed this to you. So now let's jump over to the next slide. I've shown you what the marketing plan, in my opinion, would be at 0. I don't think for what you're trying to achieve you need anything more. You could do more, but I don't think you need it. So let's look at the projections. Israeli-China Innovation Technology and Industry Cooperation Alliance. I'm assuming you're still calling it that. Again, my apologies if you're not. So looking at the events, I haven't included all the events here just to simplify, but in terms of Facebook campaigns, this is going through the post, reaching out to people, and then Facebook groups and meetup.com, including eventbrite.com and maybe a few others that you wanted to put in. These are the projections that I would estimate over time that you'll get. Now, I've been doing events for 2 years. These are not guesses. These are estimations, improving 10% and 20% month on, because you're getting out there, you're getting to know people. So these are relatively accurate projections. Minimums, just to let you know, these are not inflated. These are actually conservative. And in terms of getting people to the events, I mean, if you're going to run an event every month, for example, that's the assumption I have from what you've said, you're talking about getting maybe 87 people to the first month. If you're wondering why these numbers aren't adding up, because typically a third of people who sign up actually show up. So 87, 103, all the way up here to, 150. If you've really pulled it off, you should get events up to 150 people. And worst case scenario, again, let's pretend you only get 50% of these people to sign up to the platform because they run away or they walk in, no, I'm not signing this, whatever. Worst case scenario, you're still on pretty much 400. This is absolute worst case scenario territory. So quite frankly, this should be more than enough to get you those 500 alone as it is. Now, other events, I told you to go to other events every day, and I started saying about being a bad salesman. If you're a really, really bad salesperson, you should at the very least be able to get one person to sign up a day. If you're going with a plan, you're prepared and you know what you're doing, you should be able to get 5 people minimum to sign up to the platform every single event. Now, there are 5 days in a week. There are events practically every day, so that is 20 people a month on an absolute worst case scenario, which adds up to 120 people. This is worst case scenario territory. Just from going to other people's events, dressed in your ICICA branded shirts and a laptop, and say, yeah, would you like to sign up? You can win a chance to go to China. I'll send you the email. It's going to be automatically sent to you. Truthfully, if you go prepared, you'll get your entire 500 from this, easy peasy. A little bit of effort and time, sure, but you'll get the numbers. I told you about incubators, accelerators, workspace, government groups. Again, you can see the numbers are going to be lower than these two. Although these are effective and they get your names out, they will be a bit lower, but you're still talking about another 150 people that you should be able to sign up in that space of time. So if we just look at the totals alone, you know, you guys on your own, take this video, never speak to me again, and activate this at zero budget, and you're laughing, you're done. There shouldn't be much more to it than that. If Co-Founder Club got involved, I estimate that even if I just do basic promotions, I should be able to get at least 5%, which is 200 people. If I really offer them something heavy, maybe boost it up to 10%, which could be the 400. And if I just promote your events, like partner event, China, whatever it is, I should be able to get you at least 50 a month. I'm doing a partner event next week on Wednesday, and if you look at Mass Challenge, they have about 20 people signed up to their event. If you look at WeWork, they have about 15, 20. If you look at Co-Founder Club, the same event, because there's all three of us doing it, I'm already above 60, and that's after 48 hours. So people in Co-Founder Club go to Co-Founder-ing, Startup, these kinds of events. This is where the offer and the phrasing comes in handy, because I know what words to use to get their attention. So these are all pretty accurate projections of what I basically said I can do. So Ezra, that's my offer, okay, in terms of the marketing plan. These are the projections. I'm not just saying, ooh, this is my idea. No, I'm going to back it up with real projections. The big question that you're probably thinking to yourself is, what do I want in return? Now, I told you earlier that this will not just be another pure marketing offer, but a plan of how we can help each other. And I meant that. Now, you're willing to share the finder's fee from the deals that succeed in China, the partnership you thought of. Okay, now I've heard that, I understand that, but I have to reject that offer because it's way too generous. I mean that. Ezra, you and 7 other partners have invested so much money over so many years, probably thousands of hours of work, and I wouldn't even begin to guess the resources that you guys have all invested, okay? You have all the qualified startups you need for the roadshows, from what I can see. It would be absurd, right? Just crazy, wrong even, if I were to take any part of that success fee, your reward for all the hard work and money, you know, that you guys have put in over the last few years. A plan of how to help each other. That's what you asked for, okay? And that's what you're going to get. Now, you want 500 registered startups to your platform in 6 months with a minimum budget, 0. There's the plan to get it, and I'm willing to help you execute it, okay? Next week, I'm going to be launching a community mastermind group that helps entrepreneurs get customers by giving them the tools and resources that they don't have, but I do. Ezra, if you're not familiar with what a mastermind group is, then think of it as a gym, okay? People sign up to the gym, let's say to gain muscle, okay? For their monthly membership, they get access to the tools they need to achieve this goal. Fitness instructors, walking around and supervising and helping, and generally a selection of classes every day, abs workouts or boot camps that you can go and attend to help your progress. Now, my subscription gets you customers instead of muscles. The tools, they're not dumbbells, but strategies like Facebook advertising, like landing pages, like email marketing campaigns, like creating hook, story, offer, how to actually sell, like creating pitches, like creating lists of leads that you can then pick up the phone and call. And I'm going to do this with a lot of the people. I'm talking about CRM management, using the tools and technologies to actually manage it. I'm talking about events management, not just talking about how can I go get people, but you can see here, even from this kind of a strategy, you've got everything you need, you just don't know about it. I'm talking about everything that I presented to you right now and more. Okay? Everything that I've learned over the last decade, all the connections that I have and use all the time. This is what I've been working on. And Ezra, this is what I really want. Okay? I want you to endorse my mastermind. I want you to support it, to promote it, to join it yourself. When people apply to your roadshow, I want a checkbox on the application that asks, are you a member of the Co-Founder Club Mastermind? You're not? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't accept applications if you're not from there. To have the credibility of knowing that these startups have been vetted by me. That you're not just taking make-believe people that are talking nonsense, but that they've been through an intensive program that have real projects with real customers proving to give real money. That you know that you have projects that have been tested, that have been proven and validated, and that we're working with startups that are prepared to invest in themselves to succeed, that are consumer driven with consumer revenue income being generated. Now, that's the important part there. You're not investing, they are investing in themselves. This costs you nothing, this costs them, and it shows them to you that they are prepared to invest. I want your platform to be sponsored by Co-Founder Club Mastermind. That's all the members that you have to know who we are and what we do. I want you and your team to come to my gym, to work out with me, to see the results that I will show you. And if you hate it, go to LinkedIn. Write down that you hate it and it was the worst thing that you've ever seen. Don't touch it, don't go near it, walk away from me, we're all done. But if you like it, if together you and I can build a platform to 500 people in less than 6 months, personally I reckon 3 months, but hey, 6 months, let's be pessimistic here. Zero budget, no budget to activate this. I want you to tell everyone, you've got to check this out. Whoa, have you heard of Co-Founder Club Mastermind? You have got to see it. It is incredible. It's amazing. This is what I want, Ezra. I don't want your money. Any success fees that you and your team have earned. I want to work with you to get you to the 500 members you want for your platform within those 6 months. And I want you to join and support my mastermind. I want to support you, and I want you to support me.